It's 1924. Babe Ruth is the most famous athlete in the world. Gas costs about 13 cents a gallon. A postage stamp was 2 cents. The Ford Model T was the most popular car. The average yearly income was $2,200, and a brand new car would put you back about $265. Still, life in rural America was not easy. There were lean harvests, and farming was hard work with long days and little money. Ruthie Sizemore of Beaumont, Pennsylvania, is one of 10 children, and in those days, every family member had chores, and often there was no electricity or indoor plumbing. She remembers her mother's hard work.
She had to carry water, though, up over a steep hill in buckets for our bathing in a big tub and to drink. We had no indoor water, no indoor bathroom, an outhouse out front.
One day at Ruthie's house, a fellow came whistling along the road, and he met her mother, Grace Bellis.
And it was Pastor Purdy on a tandem bike. She invited him in reluctantly. They sat at the table. She was canning pickled pig's feet.
The stranger invited Mrs. Bellis to a tent meeting, and he prayed with her. He told her to invite friends, to which she did, and from that day forward, she never stopped inviting people to church.
My mother was the trailblazer, Grace Delphine Root Bellis, over 100 years ago.
Grace Bellis was in the business of winning souls for Christ at this little country church. She walked her family to church every week, rain, sleet, or snow.
I'm remembering one time it was cold. She couldn't drive, and I was walking to the church, and she said, "Ruthie, put your hand up in your hair and get that warm, and then when we get there, you can warm your hands and your body in front of the pot-bellied stove."
92-year-old Shirley Jones of Dallas remembers that warm, inviting fire from the potbelly stove, too. Shirley's grandmother, Mary Kibler, was a charter member at the Beaumont Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We lived in Buckwheat Hollow, and that was quite a distance from the church.
Shirley says she has many fond and special childhood memories of her grandmother and the church.
The ushers' shoes made noise on the bare floor, and she, out of her $30 pension a month, she bought a rug, a runner that went all the way up the front so that they wouldn't be clicking with their shoes.
The work of the early converts was established here in 1924 when a woman named Jessie Curtis decided this community needed a church.
She was a very ambitious lady. She was out trying to win souls all the time. Every Sabbath she was at a different church preaching. Oh, she was very kind, and she was very helpful to people.
The land was donated by a neighbor, the cornerstone was laid, and in time the small, simple building grew. Longtime member and centurion Muriel Siegel reflects on the monumental milestone of the church. Muriel is 105 years old. We asked Muriel her secret to her health and longevity.
I have no secret. It's God that takes care of me.
Muriel honors the Lord, whom she says has sustained her and the church for more than 100 years. She expresses gratitude to those pioneers who planted the church, all who passed through, and all who have given of their lives here. She is happy to celebrate the history of the building, but says she feels this is more about commemorating a community.
I remember the people. There were quite a few people, and they were very friendly. And I always liked going there because they had a nice service, and it seemed like everybody was happy.
This was a time when women and children sat on one side of the church and men on the other. The beloved pot-bellied stove would warm parishioners from the cold. The songs were a mixture of patriotic tunes and hymns, and there was always special music performed by church members.
and Floyd Matras played a great big tuba, I don't know what they call them, but it was the big horn, and it was cold in there. And every time Floyd would blow the horn, his breath caused a puff of smoke to come up out of the horn. And I got giggling when I saw and I showed my mother what was happening when he was blowing the horn, and she started to giggle too. So we had a little giggle fest over that, and I won't forget that.
Now, 100 years later, this simple country church still brings back memories of a bygone era. It is an ideal spot to rest on Sabbath, take in the beautiful architectural features and its historical significance, and most importantly, to continue the work to win souls for Christ. These ladies from founding families all agree with gratitude when they say the Beaumont Seventh-day Adventist Church is a special place where the Lord can speak to your heart. It captures the essence of home and makes you feel rooted. It is a sacred heritage that Muriel says fills her with hope as she looks to the future.
I would like to wish the Beaumont Church a happy anniversary and 100 or more years.
The story of this church is the shared stories of all its people, and even though times, people, and culture change, the Bible remains steadfast and timeless in this church.